All right, many people in the comments have asked me about my project in Mexico and what's going on and questions about it. So I thought I'd do a little video here showing where it's at and what's going on with that. So here's the Google Maps, and here's Mexico, obviously, in the middle of the screen here. And I'm going to zoom in and try to zoom in best I can close to where we're at. Okay, the state of Guanajuato, I don't know if you can read that word right there or not, is right here, and that's a state in Mexico. That kind of the border goes right around here, and San Luis Potosí is the state right above it, and León right here is where there's a big city, and I can kind of get my bearings here. So, sorry for the sound if you hear a bunch of sound, because I'm recording this right in the shop, and you probably hear machines and air nozzles and stuff. But anyway, this is the city of León, Mexico, and according to my phone, there's 1.7 million people live in this city, so it's a pretty big city right here. And normally the airport, they say it's in León, but it's actually down here somewhere by Silao. I don't know if we can see, here's the airport. And so you fly in, I normally fly into here, and then we take a drive to this city of Guanajuato, which is over here. So this is Guanajuato here, and this is the big city of León. And our place is in Guanajuato. So by zoom in here, I can quite easily find it because I know that my building's close to this mall area that's down below me on the hill here. So this is our building, the roof of it right here. And we also own this kind of little piece of property here, and then this piece right in the front here, which you'll see in the video. And this is kind of in a commercial area because of the mall being here. And so there's like three-phase power run on these power lines. You can't really see them in the satellite image up to about here on this. And so I might be able to even get three-phase power if I make my little shop area right here, or my my workshop. Not a total big shop. This is not that big of a piece of property. So anyway, this is the panorama road that goes right behind our place. This is a basketball court. I think the city owns this or something, and it goes right along here. Now, can you see these steps here? These are very steep alleyways, callejones, in the city. They don't look steep in the video, I mean in the satellite image here, but if I move this around, you can kind of get an idea of the hill. This is going very steep hills here with extremely steep alleyways and stuff. You can't really even drive. You can drive cars through some of this, but some of it's just foot pathways. But anyway, this is the panorama road, and if we follow it down along about a half a mile from here's where our building is, over to here is what they call the Monumento al Pipila, which is, it's this thing right here, but you can't really, you could see the shadow of it kind of. And it's a big statue of a person that had to do with the Mexican Revolution. And this hill goes very steep down. You might be able to kind of get an idea if I move this around a little bit, how steep this is. In fact, it's so steep nobody's even built any buildings on it because it's that steep. And this is the funicular over here, these green tracks. And this is kind of like a cable car, but it's on tracks. And one car goes up while one goes down. And I'd say the slope of this is maybe about 45 degrees or maybe steeper. It's very steep. You might be able to get an idea if I move this around a little bit. It goes down, and the entrance to it is behind the Teatro Juarez right here. And there's a church right here, and this green area right here is the main plaza, the Jardín de la Unión. And in this video, the starting of this video is actually going to be way over here by Cerro de Cuarto. And the reason for that is because we're staying, this time when we went to Mexico, we stayed in this building right here, which is owned by the man that's constructing our building. He owns this building, and I don't know if the satellite image is new enough, but I think there's another one he has right here. but it doesn't show. This image might not be that new. And his house is here. The roof of his house is right here. So we're going down. Actually, we went down this road from that building. I don't show this in the video. It starts right here on this road, right here. And so we're going down here, and then we come down, make a kind of an S-turn. You'll see this in the video. And then we go down in this direction. I think we go down this road, and we end up, let me see here. Go around, and we end up somewhere down in here. After we come down, maybe more like down in here. I don't know the exact path on this satellite image, but so we come right down this road here and along the side of this big church. You'll see this in the video, and right by the Plaza de la Paz. And this has some chains. You can kind of see them here in the satellite image. You'll see that in the video. And we go around and make this turn, let's see, down here. And right here is a ramp that goes into the subterranean streets. And Guanajuato has, I think it's 21 kilometers of subterranean streets that some of them are old and some of them are newer. We're going to be going through kind of a newer tunnel here in the video. And some of them are older, back to the mid-1500s when the city was built. And the river used to flow through here. I'm not sure the name of the river, but it used to flow through these canals. And they had a flood in the beginning of this century, and so they built these big pipes that handles the water now. And what used to be the canals, there's some that go right underground here, right along in here, that they're roads now, and you drive underneath the city in a lot of areas. I don't know if I could even show the entrance to it. I can't. Anyway, the one we're going to go through, we go down the ramp here in the video, and it goes straight through the mountain over to here, and we come out right along here and right down this street in front of the mall. Oop, let me drag this over here. And we go right down here and around this and end up right in front of my building right here. Now, as to elevation, when I flew my drone off of this roof of my garage or parking area here, and it said 7,300 foot elevation. Now, the statistics on the city say that the plaza, which is here, is at 6,500 foot elevation. So we're almost 1,000 feet higher in elevation from here to here, because this is down in the kind of the bottom of the valley area, and we're up on the hills here. So it's high altitude, and it's kind of a high altitude dry climate here in this part of Mexico. The whole center of Mexico is pretty much high altitude. So that kind of gets you a bearing on where my building is and what's happening in this video. All right, here's the road I just described in the previous section on the video, coming down the hill. Now, these hills are pretty steep. It doesn't really show too good in the video here. For some reason, when you video record stuff like this, it doesn't show how steep it is, but you can kind of get an idea looking at the incline of the bases of the buildings and everything, how steep some of this is. It's pretty difficult to walk up sections of this, and they're very narrow. You can see how the clearance on the truck there as we're going through here. You got to have experience to drive down these roads like this. I've of course sped the video up because I didn't want to take forever showing you this, so you see enough of what I'm trying to show. I sped it up. This is about 5 times the actual speed here. But anyway, that's the street we're going down, and now we're coming around to the lower area, in the main area of the city, and you can see just up ahead that big church like I described in the video right to the left. And this is the Plaza de la Paz here. It's got kind of a statue in the middle in the green area, and there's that chain along the edge of it. So it comes down here, and some of these streets that go off to the right and the left, I think the one that goes off to the right here actually goes up into another entrance of a subterranean street up in that direction. This is just the general stuff of what's happening. This is during the Cervantino Festival, and this is like early-ish in the day, and there's quite a few people out. But at nighttime, this gets totally packed during the festival. You can hardly even walk along here. It's so many people. So here's the entrance to the subterranean tunnel that we're going through in this case. And it's kind of confusing driving in these tunnels a little bit at first, because you just see like these signs directing you to go in directions, and all of the streets are one way. So if you kind of get mixed up, you got to go way down to the end of the tunnel and circle around back, and it's a little bit confusing at first. It's disorientating because you don't really know, you have no reference point. So here we're coming out by the mall area and going around the little mall and up towards my building. And you can see it, you'll see it right there straight ahead. That's my building. Now there's some little streets off to the left of this building, this little building right in the house right in the middle, and we can get up to our parking garage through that street where that car is sitting, that white car, and this red car also. That's a street they're not supposed to really park there, but they do it anyway. That's a thing in Mexico. You kind of got to get after people. And so this is the upper entrance, I guess you might call it, kind of the main entryway. It will be eventually to our building. Where he's going in on the right is kind of the front door of our house, if you will. And this bigger door that's covered with tarps right now is an area where a taxi could actually come in and turn around and drive right back out. So we don't have to block traffic like we're doing here on the outside with his truck at the moment. So he's backing into the area there, but it's kind of designed so he could circle around. Here I'm walking with the camera out to this is the 4th level that I'm standing on right now, counting the garage. So if the garage is the 1st level, you got the roof of the garage, 2nd, so on, 2, and I'm on the 4th. And so now I'm looking down at that little piece of property I pointed out earlier, a little square piece down there below. And you can kind of get an idea of the slope of things here. The height changes. See, the mall is totally down below us, down there. So that's my brother-in-law, Frank, walking with his phone there. So I'm going up to, this is the main area of where our living area, our house, if you will, would be. So right there would be the kitchen when it's finished. It's my wife, Margaret. She had a mask on because she had a cold, and that would be our room. I'm kind of going through it kind of quick here, so we didn't take too much time. That would be the bathroom area, and this is our room with the Boveda ceiling. This would be a little office area. I could set up a computer and everything right there. It's an outside walkway where we can actually set up table and chairs out there if we wanted. This little hallway is so we can go back to the main part of the house without going outside. And we're going to have a couple of men's and a women's restroom there because we want to be able to rent this area up here where I am now. Right now everything is open, and the building's kind of been not being worked on for a couple of years, so there's a whole bunch of pigeons and everything up there making a mess. And I'm walking around the outside area where we could have sort of outside activities out there, set up tables, chairs, and have a barbecue area, things like that. So there's the view to the south, a little bit southeast, that direction. The north is behind us, where the city is the north direction. So that's going to be our living room area of our house. And this is just a shaft down the building because we're back in the hill here. There's no way to get light or put windows on any of the rooms down there, so I built that way. And down here, where we have the cars, it'll be kind of the entrance to the hotel-like area down there. And we're just kind of going through some of the rooms. That man that's walking with me there is the man constructing the building for me. His name's Manuel. And we're just looking at some of the rooms here, the status of what's going on. But like I say, COVID and certain financial situations have kind of held up the work on this for a couple of years. So it's just been kind of sitting here in this condition for the last 2 years. And now we're going to start back on it again. The actual lot isn't really that big, but in Mexico you can build out to the within 100 millimeters of the perimeter of your property line. So your building can completely cover the whole lot, which is what this does for the most part. I'm just going down through the levels here. Some of this stuff is a little bit more finished out than other parts. Now what we're going to do is finish the top level where our house is and where that event room, I'll call it, is up at the top first. And then as we go, we're going to finish these rooms down below more. There was 2 rooms we used to stay in that were down at the bottom here. You'll see them. And this utility room here that got broke into. You can kind of see the broken concrete where they busted out the burglar bars and everything. And so we had to take, they even took I don't know who, these kids or something came in here and they took a washing machine and pulled it through that window because they couldn't break the door in, and they carried it up 2 flights of stairs up to the top to carry it out the building. I mean, that had to be a lot of work. So we've taken everything out of there that was left and stored it somewhere else right now. But there was 2 apartments, like I began to say, that were kind of finished out, although we're probably going to change that. They were kind of like this experiment to see what we wanted to do. And my wife and I used to stay in the one to the left there, and this one, if anybody came with us, could stay in here. But they, I don't know what they were doing. They were, I don't know, maybe they pulled all those plates off and stole the cooktop off the counter, and I don't know if they're going to pull the wire out of there and sell the copper wire. I'm not sure. But this is kind of the way it was left after they broke into it. We took the doors and everything off so they wouldn't come and steal the doors. You know, anything that could be kind of walked off with. And now there's nothing in there for the moment. We probably will change this a little bit. This was just kind of a experiment to see how we wanted maybe decorate things. There was some refrigerators in there too. I'm not sure if they took off with one of the refrigerators. Maybe. I can't remember. And this unit here is the one my wife and I used to stay in when we come down here, but we're not doing that right now because of this security issue. And we've got to get the building more secure and everything. So that's the rooms there. They're pretty much finished out, but we've taken all the furniture and everything out of there so that somebody wouldn't come and walk off with it. I don't know. You know, maybe these kids, that's what they told us. It was like 6 kids that broke into this thing, and maybe they were getting stuff for their own houses. I don't know. So anyway, that guy on the right is one of Manuel's workers. All right, I'm heading down to the garage right now. And this is the lower level with the parking area. Every one of those columns you see there go down to bedrock and have big feet on the rock itself, and the perimeter wall as well. The perimeter wall is actually laid in stone. Some kind of a thing that you have to do in the city. You can see the stone, and they do all that by hand. It's really quite remarkable. And it's probably about 3 feet thick at the base and goes up to about 18-20 inches thick at the top. The columns themselves were, I'm recording over this. The sound was, there was a lot of dogs barking and stuff on these people's roof next door. Typical thing in Mexico. I was having a little difficulty with sound, but you can see the size of the column I'm standing next to it. It's probably, I don't know, 18 or 20 inches square, and that one behind it is even bigger. And then all of these columns are attached, tied together with these beams that are going to be below the concrete of the floor when we lay the concrete down there. All this junk here is concrete forms and stuff that they just thrown down here, I guess, so that it's easier to get it out by a truck down below here, but they've just left it here for the time being. Like I say, the place has been sitting like this for a couple of years because of various delays. So this garage, I would say you could put maybe 18 to 20 cars in here pretty comfortably, and even more if you park them Mexican style, which they park very close together. And it pretty much covers the whole, almost the whole area of the lot down there. Not quite. And that's the ramp that goes out to those two little roads that I mentioned earlier in the video, where we can have access to this ramp to come into the garage. And out this little window here, you can see that's the section of property. Now, if I built something there, I'd have to kind of excavate into that. That's rock. The stone of the mountain, if you will, right there, where you can see the hump in it. So, which we also had to excavate out for this building, quite a bit of that. So that's where the parking garage will be. This is a shaft that goes up in the building for ventilation. Now I'm going back up to find everybody, whatever they're doing, upstairs. That's my brother-in-law, Frank, right there. So anyway, this is the fourth level, like I said, that intersects the street that we came in on. That's that piece of property again, looking down. And these neighbors put another level on their house, so you can see the solar hot water heater right there, that blue thing on their roof. This is pretty popular in Guanajuato to use these solar hot water heaters. We're going to have some on our roof as well. So here I'm heading up to find everybody. All right. Man, I'm not used to those stairs in this high altitude for me.
You can see the difference?
Huh?
You can see the difference?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Let me explain. We put extra, this is a whole next other floor.
Yeah.
All the water
No,
goes
yeah,
down
they
there.
leveled this so it would drain, yeah.
All the water goes down there
Yeah, yeah,
Down there and down here.
and down there.
yeah, they sloped this floor so it would drain. And then when we put the finish on it. Huh?
He says he's gotta put something up above here with glass.
Or canvas thing or something, I don't know,
No,
maybe.
principal, only the principal
Oh, there,
roof is here.
above the stairway.
Something like glass or something like that, because you need light.
Yeah, and also
Yes,
it protects from rain or something.
Downstairs going to be the reception.
Yeah.
Yes.
Below you, yeah.
No, acá no. No, hablo de esa área porque aquí,
Okay.
ustedes, cuando ustedes vengan, van a entrar por aquí a su casa. Y también los huéspedes, pues no puede caer agua ahí.
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Me explico? Y
Yeah.
acuérdese-
So we can make it to our front door without getting
Pero
wet.
agarre sol, Manuel,
Ajá.
para que el árbol agarre su sol. ¿verdad?
No, es que no estoy hablando de un tejabán o un techo. Estoy hablando
Yeah.
de una estructura con vidrio.
Just
Uh-huh.
something with glass.
Yeah, so you could protect us to the front door. I'm watching.
Recuerde que en esta área van a ir,
This is another stairway up to the 6th level.
va a haber plantas.
The exterior stairway.
Toda esta área.
Okay.
¿Ok?
Y luego el vidrio ahí.
Ajá, sí. Tenemos que proteger
Nomás ahí.
este agujero. Sí, aproximadamente es aquí.
Es lo que quería saber. Ok, perfecto.
No, aquí es una área abierta.
Oh, perfecto.
Sí.
Ya te entendí. Completamente. Ya estamos cierto.
So
Ya
this is
estamos.
kind of, like I said before, we could have an event up here. Somebody could even rent this for an event. Got a nice view.
Tal vez otra cosa que no se acuerda es que subimos ese muro
and
Era muy bajo.
and we could have an outside area. Set up some tables and chairs out here if necessary.
Sí, sí, porque Peter no quería ver.
And a
Tiene razón.
barbecue kind of counter area there. In the evenings up here, it's very nice. Set up here in the evenings, and the shape of the building kind of catches the air. You have a nice circulation of air. When I designed this, I looked at the weather patterns around this area and tried to make something that would take advantage of that. Yeah, because they've made nests or something. See them all the pigeons. They like.
They know nobody's working here.
Yeah.
This is the reason they stay very comfortable.
They like the ledges up there.
Yes, it's a paradise for them.
Yeah, yeah. Look.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is good for the plants.
Yeah. yeah.
We clean often.
Yeah, really?
Well, often. I mean, every 2 months we clean.
These birds have a lot of feathers. Huh? Yeah.
But this eye is beautiful. It is beautiful. Really
Yeah.
is.
It's gonna be nice.
I think so here. Remember you had like the Alex.
To extend that floor a little bit.
For the group, music group,
Yeah.
something like that.
Square it off a little bit.
Exactly. Yes. Remember this?
Yeah,
stairs?
yeah. You fixed
Now-
it. Yeah,
now-
yeah.
now
That's
it's-
good. Yeah, looks
okay.
good. Perfect. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
looks beautiful when you go up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Every time I'm here, the ideas is
Yeah,
like
it's flowing in
Yes.
ideas. You see how
Para los estudiantes,
these bovederos build these ceilings with no forms. They lay all those bricks by eye. It's quite amazing how they do that. Some of those bricks are setting vertical in the middle there. This will all be, when it's sealed above on the roof, it'll all be cleaned and sealed up the bricks so they won't have the white splotches on them then. And all of this pigeon mess, of course, will be cleaned. But yeah, and all of these will have opening doors so we can open it up or close it depending on the weather situation. Kind of like double opening doors that open up. We have the nice view to the south, the Bufa over there, kind of the southeast direction. South is more straight down that way.